Although I don't know your exact situation, I do remember not so long ago going through something similar where I was faced with considering my forever career of a change and wanting so badly to hear from God. Something very clear like, this is the direction I want you to go. Then I would know whether to stay or whether to head into a new direction. Without that confidence, honestly, it's just kind of easier to stay. If I quit too soon, I'm faced with questions like, well, what if I would have pushed through it another year? I do believe that God speaks to us and even gives us signs, but I don't think it's a one-time shot. I don't think it's a billboard. It's me personally. I also don't think that if you miss it, that you don't get other signs or conversations from God. I think He loves us too much for that. I can't help but think about Gideon in the book of Judges when the angel of the Lord turns to Gideon to lead the charge in the rescue of Israel. But Gideon requests a sign to prove that it's really God that's speaking to him. And so after the requested sign is given, Gideon then requests a sign to prove God is going to actually use him to rescue Israel. And then again, after the sign is given, Gideon asks yet another sign to prove that God was going to use him for the rescue of Israel. I mean, it can seem silly as we read what Gideon does, but oftentimes that's exactly what we do. We ask for a very specific sign, or we look for a very specific sign and then wonder what we do with it. You see, Jesus also saw a request for signs and miracles when he walked on the earth. He asks in John chapter 4, verse 48, "Will you never believe in me unless you see miraculous signs and wonders?" It's a question we need to ask ourselves. Jesus calls us to trust him, to have faith in him. But knowing when to stop, to go, to turn right, to turn left, it can be such a struggle and can be downright exhausting. But the truth is, we don't have to be confused or exhausted. There is one place we can go for the direction and for the rest. Matthew 11, verse 28, Jesus encourages us and says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." I used to get so frustrated with this verse because I thought, I don't want rest. I want answers. I want you to tell me where I'm supposed to go. I am burdened with this decision I have to make, and I don't want to mess it up, especially by missing out on a sign that you gave me, God. But the rest that Jesus offers us isn't a sleep aid. And I found this out when I discovered the Greek word for the kind of rest that is discussed in Matthew 11. It's anapao, which means of calm and patient expectations. In other words, Jesus is saying, if you come to me with your frustrations, with your exhaustions, I will turn it into a calm expectation. It's the only kind of rest that we can get through Jesus. We need to expect Jesus to show up instead of looking for a billboard for the answer. It might mean sitting quietly, pushing out some time in your calendar to get into his word, asking friends to pray with you. It means that once you're still, you can take a next step. You can hear and feel him. It's not the next 10 necessarily. It's just the next one. It's not the highlighted quick version through Google Maps. It's just the next one. And you'll know that it's the next one because it matches God's character. It matches God's word. Should you stay? Should you go? Was the billboard the sign? I really don't know. But maybe the question really is, God, what's my next step? And I give it to you because I need rest, and I'm going to trust in you.